Hello everyone! Welcome to the stream! As I get Windows back set proper. And then double check that I actually have the mic unmuted. Which I do. Cool. Yeah, we stopped like mid-delivery yesterday because I just couldn't keep going. My voice was dying. So today we continue this said delivery. I've just been parked on the side of the road here. These guys are probably like, where the shit is our tubes? Oh god. Car I'm pulling out. Gotta let me pull out. It's gonna happen. You can't stop this car. I think I'm pulling concrete tubes. Yeah. Probably like, where the shit is our tubes? And the answer is on the back of a truck because the driver gets sick. Yeah, bit late of a stream for my usual stream times, but it's actually not a terrible time to start streaming, honestly. Ideally, and I know I've said this before many times, but ideally I'd be starting my stream around 7 my time, which is about 40 minutes ago, and ending around midnight. Midnight to 1-ish. Because that's, like, prime time for the other coast, and there's more people on the other coast than there are on this one. So, you know. Oh, it's gonna make me go away, isn't it? At least that's just turning the other way. Yep. Oh, I'm over the speed limit. I can't see the limit. There we go. Still sick. So I apologize for the times I end up coughing. I'm feeling better today. Not like 100%, but I'm feeling better. It doesn't hurt to cough today, which is an improvement over yesterday. Well, something just fell down outside. Or it was a car driving by and not realizing that the road has a drop in it right now. No joke, the road just outside my house is being worked on. So there's just casually a bit of a drop in the road now because they've ripped up the road on literally both sides of the road. Which, I mean, it's nice that they're working on the road and they're actually doing a repair that should last a while instead of the normal patchy patchwork that doesn't last more than, like, a couple of minutes. But they really should have just done one lane, then the other lane, not both lanes at once. Partially because, like, this is the main road that leads through the entire town. Which also means, by extension, it's the road that ambulances drive along. A lot of ambulances kinda want smooth rides. Or at least as smooth as possible. Which means they basically need to now divert the way they drive until the road is fixed. Not the biggest deal, but it is just one of those things of, I still kind of want to get my hands on a racing wheel. It's just finding one that, like, isn't stupidly expensive, but also isn't terrible. Because, like, there's some of them that aren't that expensive, but, like, they only turn, like, 90 degrees. It's like, oh. Or they don't have force feedback at all, and cost almost as much as the cheap, big name brand one that has force feedback, and turns 180 degrees, and, you know. Then there's figuring out if the racing wheel is compatible with... Oh, there was a vehicle there? I checked my mirror and there was nothing there. Hello, blind spots. Music might be a little loud. Well, no, I'm well above the music. I could actually probably stand and be a little quieter, but the problem is I don't, like, if I talk at my normal streaming voice, I'm peaking it. If I talk at my own normal voice, I'm barely above the music now. And it's kind of hard to be in between, because I don't feel like I'm that much louder for my normal streaming voice. Wow, my playlist is loving Star Ocean tonight. Yeah, I can't blame it. Star Ocean's good. Star Ocean, Second Story R, coming out November 2nd, I think. November this year. I think it's the 2nd. I can't exactly check right now. But it's coming out. It's a really good game. I'm kind of tempted. If I didn't know that November was going to be jam-packed with people doing Zelda stuff, and thus that's where all the YouTube algorithm and all that's going to be pushing people, I would literally do just a ton of Star Ocean content in November. I might still do it anyway. I'm definitely going to be doing Second Story R. Like, that is something that's going to be happening on the channel, and you can't stop me. I might... Ooh, actually, yeah, that's what I'll do. I think I will do a playthrough of the first remaster of Star Ocean 2 in September. Not September. October. No, I kind of want to do horror games in October. I could do both. I could realistically do both. But yeah, I'm definitely going to do the original remaster in like September, October. I might actually do it like start at September just so I can be sure I'm gonna get through it before the Second Story R comes out. And then basically we'll have a nice comparison point of the first remaster to the what is definitely not going to contain the same content as the first remaster. Remaster. I think, like, anyone who played Second Evolution, from what I've seen from the trailers and stuff, don't expect Welch to be in Second Story R. She was kind of added for Second Evolution, and I imagine that is where she's going to stay. So that also means through my Second Evolution playthrough, I'm going to have to recruit Welch, just to show she exists. She's a pretty cool character. She fights with a pokey stick. I think because my the video series I did Rena's route. I think I'll do Claude for Second Evolution, and then I'll do Rena again for Second Story R. Because there are differences in the story, and I'll definitely be doing Claude's route on my own time as well, just to see if they've, if they change anything from the original. It's literally one of those cases of, how a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers, like Nintendo-focused YouTubers anyway, go really gaga for Earthbound. And, like, I support them. I like Earthbound, too. I am to Star Ocean 2 the way they are to Earthbound. Like, I have probably played and beaten Star Ocean 2 specifically at least 15 times in the past decade. And I've played and beaten it more than that, too. I bloody love that game. It is one that I can and have replayed many times. why it was one of my first picks for filling out my OST playlist for the truck streams and such. And really just anything that I need background music for is like, yeah, Star Ocean 2. I love that music. I'm never not gonna love that music. And thanks to Robotic, I literally have the pre-order for the PC version. So I will be playing it literally day one. I might actually stay up and play it literally as it releases. Because I will be able to. Which will be pretty cool. But I might not actually have to stay up. I don't know when the game unlocks on that day. I'm just assuming it's going to be my time, 1 a.m. Because that's normally what it is. I will say, I wish more games would have fully global launches, though. Because I also basically know that, like, Second Story R will probably be out in Australia before it's out in North America. Even though they're both set to release the same day because time zones. Australia reaches that day first. Like, Pokemon X and Y was great for that. Oh boy. Next right. Okay, well, truck. Go. You're in my way. Whatever was there, you're in my way. Ah! As I say, it doesn't hurt to cough anymore. That one kind of hurt. These wait stations are such an annoyance. Like, yes, I'm going to be totally a different weight than the last time I was weighed. I'm totally gonna be smuggling drugs in these concrete cylinders that you can see plainly through. Like, I'm totally gonna be carrying drugs in those. Totally. Now I'm coming out. You cannot stop me. I am a millionaire. I can do whatever I want. I mean, that's kind of true. The beauty of video games. They let me do things that I would never do in real life. Like be a millionaire. If I ever, and I expect people to hold me to this, if I ever reach the point where I have over $1 million in liquid assets, meaning money, I will donate half of it to charity. Because there ain't no way I'm gonna need that much money. Like, it's... That amount of money is, like, in liquid money is absurd. And I say that because, like, in assets, it's not difficult to reach that much money if you have a good income to begin with. I mean, like, I'm just sitting here in physical assets around me. I've got probably $5,000-$6,000 just in this room. Within our various video games that we have, there's probably an extra $5,000 to $8,000 in rare retro video games. So, like, it's not difficult to reach that. I mean, hell, my bed, as much as I didn't pay for this bed, its value is probably, you know, at least in the $800 to $1,000 range, given it's a pretty expensive brand of bed. And, you know, it's kept in good condition. Beds are just expensive to begin with. I say that will always annoy me of how expensive beds are. Like, admittedly, no, you don't need a bed, and I'd probably be happier without one. But, like, they sure as hell improve your quality of life for the vast majority of people. I'm just weird. How could you tell? So, like, realistically, a bed should not be more than, like, $200 at the top end. I know the argument gets made by the mattress companies that, oh, well, you know, they don't make many mattresses, and then most of them are effectively made to order, and bull. Almost everybody owns a bed. Like, multiple people I know who aren't that well off have, throughout the time I have been alive, literally bought new beds. So it's pretty safe to assume you probably sell one bed per person in a first world country. At least at one point throughout that person's life. So it's probably a lot of mattresses that get made. It's just a lot of the more expensive ones probably don't sell very well, and that's what they're basing their metrics on. I mean, I've explained before on stream, like, when we first moved here, I was literally sleeping on a handmade bedroll that was basically just made of a bunch of blankets that I ended up wrapping together in such a way that they wouldn't unravel, like they wouldn't fall apart from each other. And it was like 4 or 5 blankets, and it was plenty comfy. I loved it. And then for, Yeah. I don't think any of them still exist, but for while I was doing vlogging back, like, 2015-ish, I was sleeping in an armchair, like a reclining armchair, that we were given. Which that thing, if it was reupholstered and sold, would probably be worth a good $200, $300. It would need reupholstered because, like, cats happen. Not that they're, like, pissed on it or anything. No, they scratched it. It's got holes. It's got, you know, puncture marks. Because it was a leather reclining chair. Leather tends to puncture and rip when cats get a scratching. And like, I would go back to sleeping on the bedroll because I feel like I slept better on that. But I just don't have the space anymore because I have the big frickin', I think it's like queen size bed. I think queen is the one that's the same width as the other one but not as long. Which definitely is part of what's making me not sleep well on this bed. This bed, from top to bottom, is not my height. Well, I suppose. If I had to, like, if I laid at my head at the very top of the mattress, no pillow, I would fit on the bed. Just barely. So the bed is probably around 6'2" long. But, like, add a pillow, and that takes up, like, half a foot. Hello, only one mare, 12 volt. I apologize for any coughing. I am minorly sick. Not sick enough to not stream, just sick enough to cough. A lot. Annoyingly. I kind of wish that I was too sick to stream. I am not. I've still yet to even look into that mechanic. People have told me about it, I've just never looked into it. Man, Legend of Dragoon needs a remaster. Get some distance on me, little car. I should find a way to set it up so that, like, the current track is displayed on stream. Like, what the song title is. Because as much as I've never had anyone ask, like, hey, what song is that? I'm sure there's been some people who are like, man, I wonder what song that is. Like, what OST that's from. Is cruise control not on? It wasn't. It's my one complaint with this truck. Oh, it's fine. I'm probably gonna have to pull in anyway. Yep. I know I could turn this off, but like... I like complaining about it. Thing is, I think to have the OSTs show up on screen, I'd probably have to have them all downloaded. Which wouldn't be an issue, it's just a bit time consuming to stop and download every single one of them. And then to download anything else I add to the list of stuff. It would stop music from pausing, which would then mean I wouldn't have to stop to, you know, hit play again every 40-ish minutes. Which tells me it's probably about to do it in like 8 minutes, but you know. Also, for any longer time viewers who may be watching and not talking, I will be getting back to Final Fantasy. I'm just kind of waiting until I'm not coughing as much. Already only one. Have a good nap. Naps are always good. And I have decided that even if I finish all of Heavensward before they add the next expansion to the free-to-play, I will still come back and do the next expansion stuff too. Partially because Red Mage will be unlocked to me then. Which will be nice. I did consider, during the summer sale, picking up 14. But that would have made me feel like I had to stream throughout July. And I kind of wanted to take July easy. I wanted to stream more than I did easy, and if I had a subscription-based game ticking down the minutes, I wouldn't have really been able to take it easy. Because I would have had that thought in the back of my head the whole time of like, well, I've only got, you know, I've got to do this within a month, you know. Which is the problem with buying 14. Is the moment I do it is the moment I lose the ability to just pick it up and play it whenever I want to. Which is kind of frustrating, not gonna lie. I do honestly feel like accounts should just fall back into the free trial status when you're not actively subscribed. Like, that would be really nice. Because then, you know, I could subscribe and play for a bit, and then if I get bored, I can stop paying for the subscription, but poke back every now and again. Or they could shift to, well, a proper free-to-play setup. Make more use of their cash store. Sell more cosmetics. keep their subscriptions, but have the subscription give you bonuses, not, the ability to play. A prime example of that is actually Star Trek Online, the MMO I was playing a couple days ago. It has a subscription. You can buy a lifetime subscription to the game for like $200. You get every month some premium currency. For every year you're subscribed, you gain basically some extra benefits. And I think it's the 10-year mark, you gain access to basically a free Tier 6 ship for each respective faction. I think it's each respective faction. I think the... Wait, I don't think the Jem'Hadar have one. But I'm pretty sure... I know the Fed and KDF do, and I think the Romulans also have one. But, like, I think you end up getting, like, 1,000 Zen a month for being a lifetime subscriber. You get to refine more dilithium, which is a limited currency. Like, after basically 20 months, the lifetime subscription pays for itself in Zen. And that's excluding all the extra stuff that goes along with being a lifetime subscriber. It's really one of those things of like, yeah, it's a lot of money, and it's a lot of money to dump on one game, but also it's a game that you can realistically play for a really long time. Given it's an MMO. Hello, AI. Welcome to me rambling again about how annoying it is that Final Fantasy XIV is subscription-based, and giving examples of ways they could be better about it, but no one will care. I know no one cares, but I ramble, it's what I do. Well, I suppose I can't say that no one cares. If I ended up streaming 14 long enough to force my way into, like, being one of the more followed streamers, like, it's possible I could get Square Enix's attention and be like, yo, hey, what up? Y'all should consider these changes. But it would take that, or to get the support of the big 14 YouTuber, like, streamers and YouTubers. Coffee helps with that. Coffee definitely helps with waking up. Until you've drank coffee for, like, 2 decades. In which case, it doesn't really help anymore. I mean, I wasn't drinking coffee when I was literally still in single digits of age. And I wonder why caffeine has no effect on me. That is fair. I love when I can feel the coughs coming, so I can actually mute. If nothing else, I would love to see Final Fantasy XIV adopt basically the EVE Online approach of your account status when not subscribed just moves to the free-to-play status instead of just completely blocking you out of playing the game. Which, albeit, took EVE a long time to get to as well. But yep, and it also just paused. So I shall get that going again. 40 minutes. It's one of the more quiet ones. The Tenda's Cave. They're shy. It's like, if my account for 14 could fall back into being free to play, I probably would have picked it up during the Steam Summer Sale. But where it can't, it's just not worth it. Especially not yet, given I'm not done the free to play stuff yet. Like, I don't understand why they don't do a better system, basically. Oh, what have you found? I need to turn off here. That's fair. Lights are about to turn green anyway. I was just gonna sneak right through the grass, but with the lights turning, I don't need to. That is fair. My one piece of advice I will give moving into an apartment: on your first day there, walk through the place with your phone or just a video camera or something and record absolutely everything of the state you are receiving the apartment in. And then on your last day in the apartment, before you move out, do the same thing. show what state you received it in and what state you left it in, and it'll make getting your security deposit back a lot easier. Because you will literally have video evidence of what the house looked like. Or what the apartment looked like, I should say. Like, basically, before you put anything into the apartment, like, walk through and just record everything. That way they can't be like, oh, this bit of damage that was there when you moved in, that's your fault. Like, no, it was there when you moved in. You know. Well, that's a long trip. That's a longer trip. Jesus. I don't think I have that long of a trip in me. God's dying. Well, that's a reasonable trip. That is fair. Another thing is, if apartments over there are anything like ones over here, expect to basically have to fight with the landlord slash renting company to get anything done. To the point where if it's something minor, you may as well just do it yourself. Like, I would even go as far as to say, literally, like, replacing an oven is probably better done yourself. And then tell them later, just like, hey, yo, I replaced this. Though that depends on the terms of the lease, if they allow you to do that. Because some of them won't. I hate renting in general, so I'm very negative on any renting company. Or any individual who buys a bunch of property just to rent them out. Like, across the road from where we live is like... I think around 4 to 6 houses. Like, actual houses that are all owned by the same guy who has converted them into 2 to 3 unit apartments. Those could have literally been homes people could have owned. But nah. Leeches, I mean landlords, gotta scoop up all the properties. I honestly think the house on the other side of us was being set up to be turned into an apartment before the owners of it just decided to sell it. Like, it's to the point where along the street we live on, we are one of like 3 or 4 actual houses. The rest are all rental units now. I need to carry on and turn here. And then poor landlords wonder why people get so frustrated with them. I wonder why. It's totally not like they basically own everything. And then try to argue that, oh, well, they're just providing people places to live. Where would these people live without them? Probably in the homes that you've gobbled up. That's probably where. So you can probably tell I really don't like landlords. And even then, like, I'm a little mixed when it comes to landlords that own actual apartment buildings. Like, buildings specifically built to house many people. Because at least then, you're not taking a house away from someone who, you know, could have owned it. And you're providing a lot of places where people can live, but you still need to take care of the building, and most landlords just don't. Because they don't make money by taking care of the building. They make money by you living there. So all they care about is you living there. I need fuel. I mean, the suburbs aren't bad as long as it's not a suburb that's run by an HOA. It's the homeowners associations that make suburbs bad. A suburb itself isn't awful. It's wasteful to a degree, but that's just on space alone. Fair, but a suburb existing does also mean jobs exist. Like, the people paid to go in and trim bushes and crap, like... Sure, they may still be there without the suburb, but they're making a lot less money without the suburb. So, like, that's what I mean, but it's not bad as long as there's not an HOA. And homeowners associations need to just go away. They need to just cease existing. I legitimately kind of want to, at some point, move into a neighborhood that is under an HOA just to not join it. Just to piss them off. Because legally, they can't force me to be part of their homeowners association. At least I felt that one coming. And it's one of those things, if I ever had the kind of money to move into a house in a specific neighborhood, like wherever I wanted to move in, basically, I wouldn't care about how much money it takes to maintain the place, because I've got a ton of money at that point. Though, let's be real, I don't think I have it in me to live in a place that's highly populated. I'm a country boy. It's how I be. The town I'm in now is almost too populated for me. And most people would consider this a small town. But, like, I can't help it. I like being able to look outside and see nothing but nature and no one else's house. Now, there's plenty of places in Nova Scotia I can move, and it's a lot less populated than out there would be. Well, a lot of the people I grew up around have moved out west to places like Calgary, Alberta. Alberta, Saskatchewan, that sort of area. Maybe not Calgary specifically, but... See, I imagine you probably grew up around that kind of stuff. I didn't. As I mentioned before, like, Google Maps to Conway, Nova Scotia. That is where I grew up. It's part of Digby, but it's not Digby. It's outside of Digby. Literally, the road I grew up on isn't even on Google Maps. It's that in the boonies. Exactly. You're a city boy. I'm a country boy. I'm Canada's redneck. Like, come on now. People around here unironically say, "Get her done." Like... Literally, Nova Scotia is just redneck country in Canada. Because it don't matter where you're from. That's the reason. I ain't a judging person. You're not either, so at least you don't seem to be. God, I'm slipping into my Nova Scotia ease. It was me saying get her get her done. It's making the Nova Scotian come out of me. Jeez. I really need to find somewhere to get fuel. Jesus. Hopefully there's somewhere along here before too far. This truck doesn't tell me how much further I've got on my tank of fuel like my last one did. I really should go back to using that other truck. It was kind of just as good. Ah, fuel. How do I get to fuel? Okay, it's I just turn. Ugh. I can't wait. Can't wait for this cough to go away. It'd be so nice once it does, and I can go back to being a normal human being that doesn't cough every 10 seconds. I mean, it's getting better. It's not as bad as it was like a couple days ago. The stare down. This may take a while. I can't even tell what they're trying to do. I mean, the oil tanker is clearly trying to come this way. But... you know what? I'm just gonna sneak right on past you here, guys. I got a delivery to make. They're both trying to turn, but the dump truck went too far and is now stuck. Good. Good. Clearly, those are two Canadian drivers. They just want the other one to go first. I've legitimately witnessed that. Like, 3 people at a stop sign. All of them are gesturing for the others to go first. None of them are moving. It's like, at some point, you gotta stop being polite and just go. Like... Like, I'm one of those people that I'll wave cars to go through, like, a crosswalk before I go. Because I know that car is going to get through the crosswalk faster than I do. So I may as well let it go first. And I've had moments where I had to stop and just give up and go because someone was like, no, 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 you go. It's like, just go. You're faster than me. Like, just go. I am not okay. I just need that clip from Aaron just on a soundboard. Ugh. I still need to, one of these days, do a stream where I'm just exploring Google Maps of, like, the place I used to live. So I'm never moving back there, so... Before I met Robotic, I might have. But after meeting her, nah. I'm gonna move closer to her. She is way too much of an anxious bean to make her move a really long way away from where she lives. And I mean, like, there's definitely things I miss about living in Digby. Mostly around the summertime in Digby, because that's when the two big events in Digby happen. Of Scallop Days and the Wharf Rat Rally. And for both of them, there'd always be a vendor selling, like, used games and stuff, and I'd love just going and buying games. But by that same token, there's literally not far from where I live here a used game store that sells used games. So, like, I kind of have that all year round now. Makes it feel less special. When you only have access to it, like, twice a year, sometimes only once a year, because the committees for Scallop Days and Wharf Rat are well known for hiking up their table prices to the point where a lot of the vendors are just like, why would I even bother? I'm not going to make enough money. And it's always obvious the years they're really hiking up their prices because there's, like, no good vendors the years they do that. Which then, because there's no good vendors and people don't tend to spend that much money, that means that a lot of people tend to leave the events early, and then the town the next year is like, alright, we'll lower the prices again, and then a couple of years later they raise the prices again, and the cycle repeats. Yeah, I've picked up quite a few games at our local used game store. If it didn't have such a unique name, I would name it, but, like, I'd rather not dox myself, which I feel is a fair statement. Or a fair stance. And while, like, it wouldn't be giving up my exact address, it would give up the city I'm in. Yeah, see, the town I'm in is not not big enough for that kind of mentality. Like, It ain't a big town. It's big to me, but it ain't big. And, like, it's one of those things, if I know at the moment I don't have many people who hate me, I know I'm going to, throughout throughout the years of streaming, I'm going to pick up more and more people who hate me. And I'd really rather not make it easier for them to find me. No, I do not. I don't, actually. Because I've never been there. Whoa. How did things pause? So I most certainly did not press a pause button. Unless I did. I don't think I did, though. Okay. Let me see these balls. Those are some balls. Why is there just a pile of balls? My GPS broke. How? They're balls! Okay. Okay, I have a route again. None of the buttons around where my controller is pauses the game. I have no idea why my game paused. Just did. Okay. Ah. I don't understand you Western Canadianers in your balls. I mean, I get anything is possible with balls, but bringing awareness to homelessness is probably not one of the things balls can do. The town I grew up in has cannons, so I can't say too much. Because, like, Why cannons? They just have cannons. And not only are they cannons, but they're cannons that have been spiked. Which, if you don't know, spiking the guns, like, you might think that's a big, like, it's you know, you do a spectacular thing, or there's a special tool for it. Nah, you literally take a nail and you just hammer it into the touch hole of a cannon, and you've spiked the guns. That is literally what it is. I'm out of coffee. I have Pepsi. Darn it, lights, I'm not ready. It's like there's, I think, 8 cannons in Digby. And they've all been spiked, and they're just all on display along the waterfront, pointing out into the harbor. Pointing out into the harbor at a location that no sane attacking force would ever have attacked from. Mostly because no sane attacking force would be attacking through the water into Digby. They would just go by land. Because Digby is in the Bay of Fundy. It is also on the complete opposite side of the continent to Halifax Harbor, which is, you know, the main harbor of Nova Scotia. So if you're attacking, you kind of need a big harbor to, if you're going to be attacking a harbor to take control of it, you're going to want a big one. One that, you know, you can then station your naval forces at. So you're going to be attacking Halifax, not Digby by sea. And even if you were to attack Digby by sea, you'd attack from the southern side of Digby, not the western side of Digby. And the cannons are pointed west. Yep. I think just about every family in Nova Scotia lost somebody during the Halifax explosion. My music has paused again. Come on, YouTube, that was only half an hour. So, interesting fact around the Halifax explosion. Nova Scotia sends Boston a Christmas tree every year as thanks for their help with the Halifax explosion. Because they were one of the first, if not the first, to show up. Literally before New Brunswick, our direct neighbor, Boston, showed up. Like, rescue and help crews search. Why? Yeah, I don't care about no freaking red light violation. There's no reason to have lights here. There's no one on this side of the road. I'm going. My truck's gonna just turn off on its own now. Freaking road work. I suppose that means I shouldn't get going too fast. Of course there isn't. Looks like I'll be making a detour to fix my truck. I mean, this isn't the most damaged I've ever had a truck. That was back when I was playing Euro Truck Sim with just the mouse and keyboard. And steering with a keyboard is, not advisable, to say the least. And I would say maybe I'll get lucky and my truck just won't turn off and this is a waste of time. But I know I'm not going to get lucky. I know that this is a requirement. I'm going to need to do this. All because not only was there road work, there was freaking traffic lights. Dying. I blame the traffic lights. That's why I have a cough. It's the traffic lights, I'm telling you. They're evil. Wait, is that a service center right there? Yes it is. Go on. Go on, cop van. I would have imagined he was just sitting there like, what the shit happened to that truck? Road work happened. Alrighty, AI. Well, there was only 9% damage to my engine. That is $18,000 and $69 worth of damage. That was a lot of damage. My engine may actually not have been turning off. I might as well grab a tiny bit of fuel while I'm here. That's not what I wanted. I wanted gas, not rest. Ah. This will probably be the last delivery for this stream. If we don't reach 2 hours, we don't reach 2 hours. I can't. With this coughing, it's just frustrating me. Hopefully by tomorrow it'll be a lot more manageable. I mean, it's manageable today. It's just annoying me more than anything. And I'm nowhere near as congested, so... Oh man, oil fields. Some of the things that are contributing to all of us dying. That's fun. And, you know, with recent events and heat waves, it's possible that things may actually get a bit better. And I say it's possible because the main issue with people tackling climate change has been it's a tomorrow problem. Well, it's no longer a tomorrow problem. The problem is here now. Which, you know, basically means it's a bit late, but, you know, at least we'll slow the next ice age. Maybe be a little more ready for it. Because the Earth is almost certainly going to correct itself. It does that. It's just whether humans will be able to live through that ice age or not is another question. Because it's going to be an ice age. And, like, as a whole, humanity has made some pretty big strides in the last, you know, couple decades towards tackling climate change. The hole in our ozone layer has significantly shrunk compared to when I was younger. Like, that's great. But it's not enough yet. Oh boy, road work ahead. At least that doesn't have traffic lights. I mean, one of the biggest issues with even, it now being a today issue that climate change is a problem is that so much of our, I can't think of the word I wanted to use. So much of our supply chains that works rely on burning fossil fuels. A lot of people rely on burning fossil fuels to get to their jobs because housing has become so insane that it's difficult to find housing near where you work. Like back when I was working at the Superstore, and considering, hey, I'm making enough money, I could possibly buy a house. The only houses that were affordable to my income at the time, even if I had been making a steady 40 hours a week, were about a 40-minute drive away from where I was working. Like, that's not manageable without burning fossil fuels at this moment, because electric vehicles are so damn expensive. Which is where, rather than trying to regulate the internet, maybe, just maybe, our government, at least, should be, helping people out. How about, rather than offering, a tax credit for buying electric vehicles, you offer a loan for buying electric vehicles. A loan that doesn't need paid off, so basically just a grant, actually, that would be. I think they would find more people would buy electric vehicles. And basically just have it be set up so that you have to provide proof of purchase of an electric vehicle to not have to repay this loan and have it become a grant. That way people couldn't, get the grant and then spend it on something else. Spend it on that flashy, what's a car brand? Lamborghini, that's one. Not helped by there is just a lot of people who are in the camp of, electric's stupid. It's like, it's kind of not. Like, ideally, when I ultimately have enough money to buy a car, I'd like to buy an electric car. I would need to have a charger put in at this house if I was still living here, because there's not enough reliable fast chargers to not have charging at home. But, you know, that would change over time if more people had electric vehicles. It's gonna want me to... There's at least one on this side. Wow, this load is only 3 tons less than the last load I did. Ah! Really need to stop coughing. That'd be great. I'd love it. Yeah, I don't have much longer left on this one. It's not gonna reach 2 hours, but maybe about an hour 45, hour 50 by the end. It's close enough. Oh, frisk. Yeah, I imagine the moth is still on the wall. No, you still cannot have it. And I need to be over in that lane. Thankfully, there's a curve in the road. Also, I noticed something kind of disappointing with my headset. And it's my own fault. And I have fixed it. It looks stupid, but I have fixed it. I ended up breaking the cable a bit. Like the outer coating of the cable anyway. The wiring is all still fine. It still works perfectly fine as a headset, surround sound. The lights still work. Everything about it still works. But the rubber coating on it has broken. And I'm 90% sure that I know exactly what caused it to break. I just never noticed until now. And it's, I'm using a dining room table as my computer desk. And for the longest time, there was, a gap in the table. Because it's one of those ones that, like, you pull out and it makes it a longer table. Well, we don't have the center part to do that with. And I don't have the space down here to do that anyway. Actually, I do now, but still don't have the centerpiece. But I used to just hang the headset cord there because it kept it out of the way. But when I rearranged my room a while back and was moving my bed, my bed got caught on the table legs and pushed the table together. The headset cord was in that gap at the time and popped out. Like, it didn't stay in there, it didn't stay crushed, but I broke the cable a bit. It's currently electrical taped and scotch taped because our electrical tape is old and the adhesive on it isn't very good anymore. So basically, the electrical tape is on it as the barrier for the electrics, and the scotch tape is there to hold the electrical tape on. You know, sensible things. And, like, this headset is under warranty. But I've not read the warranty information from Corsair, but I'm pretty sure it'll follow the same, the same sort of deal as everyone else of it'll only really be fixed if it's a mechanical issue that was not caused by me. And, like, I could contact Corsair and be like, hey, y'all, you know, able to fix this? But also, the headset still works perfectly fine. And, you know, it's not a hazard because electrical tape is functionally the same as the rubberized coating anyway. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today, because I'm still sick. I'm still coughing a lot. It's been almost 2 hours, so I'll take it. Thank you all very much for watching, and hopefully I shall see you back here tomorrow, as honestly, I'll probably be doing more Star Trek, because I've been really enjoying playing Star Trek lately. Though I might do something different. I don't know. I'll do something. See y'all tomorrow.